I am back. Rudrance for Black and White Network. Well, let's talk about Black Lives Matter. Anytime that Black Lives Matter is in peril, you can bet we are going to do a video on it. Any kind of peril, legal peril. You know, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to us. A fraudulent peril. Yeah, the very group that offered up a Marxist assault on the traditional family unit finds itself in a bit of hot water again. This makes us happy. Yes, it does. Domestic terrorist organization, anybody? Just wondering, exactly how many black lesbians do you have over this organization? Inquiring minds want to know. How many of them have brand new mansions? Inquiring minds want to know that as well. Last check, I know at least 4 mansions. Is Patrice Cullor still there? Anybody? She's still around? All right, let's do this. Of all corporations to be coming after Black Lives Matter, enter Adidas. Wow. This might be the biggest business I have heard that's had any actual feuding with Black Lives Matter, and it's over the 3 stripes. That's right. We know Adidas has the famous 3 stripes on the arms of its clothing a lot of times, or somewhere on its apparel. And Black Lives Matter decided to jump out there and do this, remember? Wow, black lesbians need to have better taste than that. Tend to get yourself in hot water. Black Lives Matter is facing legal action from Adidas over the BLM's organization's logo. BLM has used and continues to use a logo with 3 stripes surrounding its text right there. After using it on merchandise and in promotional materials, Black Lives Matter is now attempting to file a trademark for its 3 stripes logo. Trademark attorney Josh Gerben tweeted out a thread explaining that in response, Adidas has taken court action to block their attempt. So they got a little greedy here. Nobody was bothering them. They could have just kept using this, but when they decided to file a trademark, Adidas said, not going to happen. Not going to happen. There is a notice of opposition right here. Per the court filings made on March 27th, Adidas claims Black Lives Matter stripes are too similar to its own. Enter in woke cancellation in 3, 2. In this week's court filing, Adidas spends a considerable amount of time talking about how famous its 3-stripe mark is and how the company has frequently used the mark to sponsor and collaborate with many professional athletes and artists. That's right, that's a fact. Anybody remember Run DMC? Additionally, they allege that BLM incorporates the stripes in a similar manner and that, quote, goods and services offered by the BLM under its proposed trademark are identical to or highly related to Adidas's offerings. Ruh-roh. The filing also says if BLM's trademark is approved, it will materially harm Adidas by eroding consumers' exclusive identification of the 3-stripe mark with Adidas. Ruh-roh. Do they actually have a case? Black Lives Matter organization does not have the best reputation when it comes to financial matters, but Gerben is uncertain as to how strong Adidas's case is in this instance. According to him, different orientations and colors of stripes might make it difficult to win. I wondered about that. Trademark law is notoriously difficult to understand, and the rulings are often unpredictable. Adidas is clearly associated with the 3 stripes their entire history, but the BLM stripes are the same size as opposed to Adidas's decreasing sizes, and the yellow color makes this a difficult claim. I wondered about that. That said, Adidas presented a comparison of different items from them and the BLM store, and you can see how they thought the filing was worthwhile. They got an Adidas example right over here, and then, of course, the BLM right here. I wonder, inquiring minds want to know, do we believe that 2 years ago Adidas would have filed this claim? I just wonder, would they have filed the claim when everybody was losing their minds in about, right around July of 2020. About a good 6 weeks after George Floyd, that incident, when all of these corporations were giving millions upon millions, the millions and millions of dollars to Black Lives Matter, this potential Ponzi scheme. By the way, I mean, some corporations still have like an affiliation with this thing, even as bad as their reputation has gotten. And of course, everybody out there burning down cities with using the organization's moniker. You just have to wonder, would Adidas have had the balls to have filed this trademark appeal against its potential copyright against the BLM back then? Because we know this was pre-Elon Musk having Twitter. Can you imagine the mainstream media and Twitter, woke Twitter at the time? And look, Twitter's still pretty woke, but at least it's a little more even these days. Can you imagine the blowback Adidas would have faced had they have tried to have done this a couple of years ago? I don't know that they would have had the stones to have actually done this. Now the BLM's reputation has taken a hit. It's been kind of dragged through the mud. And now they're willing to step up and try to do this. Now, look, one could argue Black Lives Matter got greedy by trying to file a trademark for their apparel. Who the hell is buying their apparel? I guess all those folks that are out there, hey, got to make sure I got my fresh BLM gear on before we go out for a night of looting and murdering and stealing. I got to have my fresh BLM gear on. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Look, anytime they might be in potential peril, anytime that something happens that might cost them additional money to have to defend themselves, that is going to bring a smile to my face if I'm being completely and totally honest. You know, just saying. You know what's funny about this? Do you know President Trump was the only president that was like, look, I'm gonna make the KKK a terrorist organization. I'm gonna make Antifa a terrorist organization. I'm gonna make BLM a terrorist organization. And the only thing that got heard out of that was, oh my God, you're gonna make the BLM a terrorist organization? Blah, 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 blah. He hates blacks. Blah blah blah. Anybody remember that? I mean, right over the head of the KKK being labeled a domestic terrorist organization. I don't know how many racists would have actually done that. It's a side note to this, but you get the point of the picking and the choosing of the media and the wokes and the Biden supporters out there. It's funny how that works, you know? Hell, I hope Adidas wins. I do. I do wonder about their case, considering the differences between the two. I mean, I've got to be honest with you. I would have never in a million years associated an Adidas product to a BLM product, if I'm just being quite honest. So, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I would say I'm surprised the BLM hasn't filed bankruptcy, but they're supposed to be a nonprofit organization. Does anybody believe that? 4 mansions? 5? 6? Can I get a 7th mansion up in here? My black lesbian friend is needing a winter vacation home. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.